This is what St. Andrew, the Fool for Christ, who lived in the 9th century AD, said. By the will of God, I was immersed for 2 weeks in a delightful vision. I saw that I was in a wonderful and magnificent paradise. My mind and heart were overwhelmed by the indescribable beauty of the divine paradise, and I felt a sweet delight walking in it. There were many gardens filled with tall trees. Their branches gave off a wonderful fragrance, and my eyes rejoiced seeing their branches swaying. No tree on earth is as beautiful as these trees. In the gardens there were also countless birds with golden, snowy, and multicolored wings. They sat on the branches of the trees of paradise, and their enchanting singing had captivated me. In front of me walked a young man with a face as bright as the sun and dressed in a purple cloak. Following him, I saw a large, magnificent cross, like a luminous cloud, around which stood melodists with eyes that shone like fiery rays, who sang glorious hymns glorifying the crucified Lord. The young man who was leading me, passing in front of the cross, embraced it and motioned for me to embrace it too. As I embraced it, I was filled with an indescribable spiritual sweetness and a fragrance the like of which I had never smelled even in heaven. Moving forward in front of the cross, I looked down and saw an abyss of sea. Then my guide turned to me and said, "Do not be afraid, we need to climb even higher," and gave me his hand. And then we immediately found ourselves in the second firmament. There I saw most beautiful people in such a rest and joy that human language cannot express. And behold, then we ascended to the third firmament, where a multitude of heavenly powers were praising and glorifying God. We arrived at a brilliant curtain in front of which stood tall and fearsome young men who looked like flames of fire. The young man who was leading me said to me, "When the curtain is lifted, you will see the Lord Jesus Christ. Bow down deeply before the throne of his glory." Listening to him, I felt unspeakable joy and also terror. And then a fiery hand lifted the curtain, and like the prophet Isaiah, I saw in a vision the Lord sitting on a throne, high and lofty, and I saw his temple filled with indescribable glory. Around this glorious throne stood the seraphim. I was caught up to the third heaven. This was by St. Andrew, the Fool of Christ from Constantinople, the Fool for Christ who lived in the 9th century. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.